welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I'm Tanzeeba Nourin. Today we have brought top and trending news across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. US halts bomb shipment to Israel over Rafah concerns. US police break up Gaza protest encampment at George Washington University. US cancels export licenses of suppliers to China's Huawei. Biden visits Wisconsin to laud a new Microsoft facility, meet voters, and troll Trump. AstraZeneca to withdraw COVID-19 vaccine globally as demand dips. World experienced hottest April on record, climate monitor says. Gaza truce talks resume in Cairo with all sides present, Egypt media says. Israel reopens Kerem Shalom border crossing for Gaza aid. Gaza protest, dozens detained at Sorbonne Univ in Paris. Russia's biggest airstrike in weeks piles pressure on Ukraine's power grid. Djokovic says he is ready to peak at French Open. And Osaka plays solidly in her opening match at the Italian Open. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. The United States paused a shipment of bombs to Israel last week over fears it would invade the southern Gaza city of Rafah, an official said Tuesday, marking the first time in the conflict that President Joe Biden has squeezed military aid to the key U.S. ally. Washington halted the load of 907-kilogram bombs and 226-kilogram bombs after Israel had not fully addressed U.S. concerns about a major ground operation, a senior administration official said. News of the move comes as the White House blasted the unacceptable closure of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt after Israel sent tanks in earlier Tuesday, while holding out hope for a ceasefire with Hamas. The pausing of weapons marks the first time that Biden has acted on the warning that he gave Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in April that U.S. policy on Gaza would depend on how Israel treated civilians. The U.S. official said Biden's administration made the decision on the weapons when it appeared Israel was on the verge of a major ground operation into Rafah, which Washington has strongly opposed as more than 1 million people are sheltering there. Israeli and U.S. officials had been discussing alternatives, but those discussions are ongoing and have not fully addressed our concerns, the senior U.S. official said, speaking on condition of anonymity. Police in the United States Capitol have broken up a student protest encampment at George Washington University, one of dozens of tent camps set up on campuses across the country in support of Palestinians in Gaza. The Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. said in a statement that it moved to disperse demonstrators on Wednesday morning after a gradual escalation in the volatility of the protest. It did not elaborate on what exactly that means. During the course of the operation, arrests were made for assault on a police officer and unlawful entry, the department said, without specifying how many arrests were made. Citing an unnamed police source, media reported that 30 to 40 people were arrested. The Gaza encampment at George Washington University is one of dozens that have sprung up around the world since late April in protest of Israel's war on the besieged Palestinian enclave. The United States has revoked some licenses that allow companies to ship goods such as chips to sanctioned Chinese telecommunications equipment maker Huawei Technologies. Some companies were notified on Tuesday that their licenses were revoked effective immediately, according to one person familiar with the matter. The move comes after the release last month of Huawei's first AI-enabled laptop, the MateBook X Pro, powered by Intel's new Core Ultra 9 processor. The laptop launch drew fire from Republican lawmakers who said it suggested that the U.S. Department of Commerce had given the green light to Intel to sell the chip to Huawei. We have revoked certain licenses for exports to Huawei, the Commerce Department said in a statement, declining to specify which ones it had withdrawn. President Joe Biden raced into yet another battleground state Wednesday, continuing to push a contrast with Donald Trump on economic policy as his own re-election campaign readies a new $14 million advertising blitz aimed in part at Black, Latino, and Asian American voters. Biden traveled to Sturtevant, Wisconsin, where he will highlight a decision by Microsoft to build a $3.3 billion data center that is expected to create roughly 2,000 jobs. It's also the spot where Trump, to much fanfare, lauded a plan by Taiwan-based electronics giant Foxconn planned to build a $10 billion manufacturing facility that was supposed to eventually employ 10,000 people, except it was never completed. Conscious of that history, Microsoft's president Brad Smith said in an interview with the Associated Press that Microsoft had a steadfast commitment to under-promising and over-delivering, and praised the Biden administration and Democratic Governor Tony Evers for economic policies that set the stage for the developments announced Wednesday. Trump's campaign didn't address Foxconn, but the Republican former president often says the economy was in a much better position when he was in office and will be again should he win in 2024. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. AstraZeneca said on Tuesday it had initiated the worldwide withdrawal of its COVID-19 vaccine due to a surplus of available updated vaccines since the pandemic. The company also said it would proceed to withdraw the vaccine Vaxzevria's marketing authorizations within Europe. As multiple variant COVID-19 vaccines have since been developed, there is a surplus of available updated vaccines, the company said, adding that this had led to a decline in demand for Vaxzevria, which is no longer being manufactured or supplied. According to media, the Anglo-Swedish drug maker has previously admitted in court documents that the vaccine causes side effects such as blood clots and low blood platelet counts. The firm's application to withdraw the vaccine was made on March 5 and came into effect on May 7, according to The Telegraph, which first reported the development. London-listed AstraZeneca began moving into respiratory syncytial virus vaccines and obesity drugs through several deals last year after a slowdown in growth as COVID-19 medicine sales declined. The world experienced its hottest April on record, continuing an 11-month streak of unprecedented high temperatures, the European Union's Climate Change Monitoring Service has said. Each month since June 2023 has ranked as the planet's hottest on record, compared with the corresponding month in previous years, the Copernicus Climate Change Service said on Wednesday. The exceptionally warm conditions occurred despite a weakened El Niño, the weather phenomenon that warms the Pacific Ocean and leads to a rise in global temperatures, leading the researchers to blame human-induced climate change. April was 1.58 degrees Celsius warmer than an estimate for the same month in the 1850 to 1900 pre-industrial period, C3S said. Talks aimed at agreeing the terms of a truce in the 7-month war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza resumed in Cairo Wednesday with all sides present, Egyptian media reported. Truce negotiations have resumed in Cairo today with all sides present. Egypt's Al Qahira News, which is close to the intelligence services, reported, citing a senior official it did not identify. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Israel said it reopened the Kerem Shalom border crossing to humanitarian aid for Gaza Wednesday, 4 days after closing it in response to a rocket attack that killed 4 soldiers. Trucks from Egypt carrying humanitarian aid, including food, water, shelter equipment, medicine, and medical equipment donated by the international community, are already arriving at the crossing, the army said in a joint statement with COGAT, the defense ministry body that oversees Palestinian civil affairs. French police detained 86 people following an operation to remove students staging a pro-Palestinian occupation at the Sorbonne University in Paris, prosecutors said Wednesday. Those arrested in the police operation on Tuesday night were being held for a variety of public order offenses, said the statement. They include willful damage, rebellion, violence against a person, holding public authority, intrusion into an education establishment, and holding a meeting designed to disrupt order. Some are also being held for participation in a group with a view to preparing violence or damage to property. They can be held for an initial 24 hours, which can then be extended another 24 hours. The day before police moved in, Prime Minister Gabriel Attal said there would never be a right to disrupt France's universities with such protests. Police acted after about 100 students had been occupying a lecture theater for 2 hours in solidarity with the people of Gaza, an AFP journalist on site noted. Meanwhile, pro-Palestinian protesters were occupying a University of Amsterdam site on Wednesday, a day after police clashed with protesters in the Dutch capital and broke up an earlier encampment at the university. Russian missiles and drones struck nearly a dozen critical infrastructure facilities in Ukraine in a major airstrike early on Wednesday, causing serious damage at 3 Soviet-era thermal power plants, Kiev officials said. The Air Force said it shot down 39 of 55 missiles and 20 out of 21 attack drones used in the attack, which piles more pressure on Ukraine's Belgorod energy system more than 2 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Another massive attack on our energy industry, Energy Minister German Galushchenko wrote on the Telegram app. 2 people were injured in the Kiev region and 1 was hurt in the Kirovorod region, Interior Minister Ihor Klimenko said. Some 350 rescuers were racing to minimize the damage caused to multiple energy facilities, 30 homes, public transport vehicles, cars, and a fire station, he said. Power generation and transmission facilities in the Poltava, Kirovorod, Zaporizhia, Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, and Vinnytsia regions were targeted, Galushchenko said. The strike was the latest in a wave of attacks on critical energy infrastructure that began in March. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,994.27. The NYSE Composite is increased by 30.43 points or 0.17%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,202.37. The Nikkei 225 index decreased by 632.73 points or 1.63%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,128.48. The Shanghai index decreased by 19.26 points or 0.61%. Hong Kong stock close price is 18,313.86. The Hang Seng Index decreased by 165.51 points or 0.90%. Bombay stock close price is 73,466.39. The Sensex Index is decreased by 45.46 points or 0.06%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. World number one Novak Djokovic said he believes he will be in top form for the French Open and hopes to prove that at the Italian Open, which started on Wednesday. The Serbian told a press conference in Rome on Wednesday that his focus is on Paris, Wimbledon, and the Olympic Games, and he had strategic reasons for skipping the recent Madrid event. It was not part of the schedule. The plan was to come here. That's basically it, said Djokovic at a press conference at the Italian Open. Djokovic, who turns 37 on May 22, just before the French Open gets underway on May 26, said he hoped to perform better than he did in his last tournament, the Monte Carlo Masters, where he lost to Casper Ruud in the semi-finals. Naomi Osaka looked comfortable in her opening match at the Italian Open, beating 45th-ranked Clara Burel 7-6, 6-1 on Wednesday. It was Osaka's first victory over a top 50 player on clay since defeating Victoria Azarenka at the 2019 French Open. Osaka was proud of the way she maintained her mental focus after dropping her serve while serving for the first set at 5-3. Just being able to hang in there and eventually close it on my terms is something that I'm very proud of myself for, she said. It's also the first time that Osaka is playing in Rome since 2019 when she reached the quarterfinals. Osaka, who was formerly ranked number 1 but is now number 173 after a maternity break, served 8 aces and produced 27 winners to her opponent's 10. She will next face 19th-seeded Marta Kostyuk, who reached the final of a clay event in Stuttgart, Germany recently. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. US halts bomb shipment to Israel over Rafah concerns. US police break up Gaza protest encampment at George Washington University. US cancels export licenses of suppliers to China's Huawei. Biden visits Wisconsin to laud a new Microsoft facility, meet voters, and troll Trump. AstraZeneca to withdraw COVID-19 vaccine globally as demand dips. World experienced hottest April on record, climate monitor says. Gaza truce talks resume in Cairo with all sides present, Egypt media says. Israel reopens Kerem Shalom border crossing for Gaza aid. Gaza protest, dozens detained at Sorbonne Univ in Paris. Russia's biggest airstrike in weeks piles pressure on Ukraine's power grid. Djokovic says he is ready to peak at French Open. And Osaka plays solidly in her opening match at the Italian Open. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TV such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.